Welcome to Inside the Box. I'm Boston Tommy. Well, Tuesday, plenty to talk about. President Trump signs the executive order to reform police. Good first step. You can only do so much at the federal level. An argument has been made that institutionalized racism exists, and you're never going to believe who's to blame for this, right? Domino's, embroiled in a big tweet controversy. Brian Butler, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Hollywood hypocrisy for all to see. We'll talk about that a little bit. New York cops hospitalized after they drank some kind of bleach poison fucking shakes or something. Terrible. And we continue to fight, defunding the police. So I guess we'll get into all that today too as well. My feed from my music doesn't seem to be working too well, but we don't need it. We'll go ahead and just jump right in there, right? The contrast between President Trump now, the law and order president. Hey, Shay Lee, thanks for tuning in. How you doing? And Joe Biden right now couldn't be more stark. The Dems are basically for lawlessness, riots, looters, and chaos, okay? And, of course, Biden doesn't have a great record on racism. And I don't care who he picks for his running mate. It's not going to happen, okay? And Trump, today, like I said, signed the executive order. Watched his speech. It was pretty good. Something for everybody there. He's doing all that he can, Randy Craigwood, without trashing the police, right? And I don't even know where they come off with. This is just cowardice on the parts of the Democrat leaders to not step in, defend the cops, and do what's right here. This has gone so far away from George Floyd, I can't begin to tell you. And Black Lives Matter, you know what? They bragged about Joe Biden raising $81 million or some shit like, you know why? And this is all over the internet. You go to Black Lives Matters and you go push the button to donate, takes you right to the DNC. Right to the DNC. So all your contributions, you think you're helping black people, you're just helping Democrats. And hey, there's a lot of new information about the fact that a lot of blacks are going to vote for Donald Trump. They're sick of it. They're tired of not drinking the Kool-Aid no more. Anyways, let's start with this article I got off the Daily Wire today. I don't know if you heard about this. There was, I think it was like 3 cops, maybe 4. They're having lunch at the little Shake Shack, I guess it's called, some kind of burger shake. I guess you get your own shake out of a machine, maybe? Or they make it for you. Well, this is the trick. Because they say now that they've investigated. Hey, Kenny Coggins, thanks for tuning in. That they've investigated this. They're all okay, but they had to go into the hospital and recover. They drank some kind of fucking bleach. Try to poison the cops in a shake. They can't even have a lunch break, and people are trying to kill them. Because that's what they do to black people, I guess. I don't know. I've never heard that, but that's, insane. That's just despicable right there. Patrick Durham. And now they're saying, there was no criminal activity. We can't. It was just accidental. They were cleaning or whatever. Unfortunately, it didn't happen to anybody else, right? Kenny Coggins watching, can't hear. He's sitting in a bar Meridian. That's okay, bro. I'm almost loud enough to overcome that, but probably not. It's okay, Kenny. Hey, all right. Yeah, listen, I mean, do these people, when they say Black Lives Matter, do they not care about the real statistics that are out there? Do you know something like, I don't know, what was it, 1,700 blacks murdered in 2019 by other black people? 1,700! Let's see, 175 black people murdered in Chicago last month. Black on black crime. 23 people killed in 24 fucking hours. And you want to get rid of the police of the problem? Really? Seriously? And Black Lives Matter to you? Come on, man. Who are you trying to fool? It's ridiculousness. Like I said yesterday, blue lives save black lives. It's stupid. They want to dismantle the police, but yet they'll walk around, these Dem politicians, using their local police as a security detail. Same thing with those Hollywood fucks. You see what the Hollywood's doing now? Do you hear this now? The city of Hollywood has, the city council, they have proclaimed in the name of the COVID, the almighty COVID, that's still one of the punches they try to pull. Hi, Holly Lynch. They've decided, let's see if I got it here. We can actually read it. Let me see. to preserve the peace and tranquility of residential neighborhoods, effective tonight and until further notice, no more than 10 people shall gather and assemble between the hours of 9 p.m. and 8 a.m. And that is in the Beverly Hills, okay? All the Hollywood rich people. And they also took steps to ensure that there can be no autonomous zone. A lot of cities are doing this too, trying to preempt the autonomous mess that's going on in Seattle there. I heard they don't call it Chaz anymore. What do they call it? Chips? Chop? Whatever. It's a trash pile. It's a heap of damn trash we're going to have to clean up sooner or later. They're hungry. They got no food because they're idiots. They're not leaders. They're not revolutionaries. They're morons and losers that want to leech off of society. That's all they are. It's incredible. Come on now. But I just thought that was funny. You know, all these hoity-toities in the left up there. You know what I mean? Yeah, and this was an opinion that I heard. I don't know if any of you know who Michael Knowles is, but he's a conservative talk radio, I guess, personality, you say. He's got his own show. He's very good. Usually he's on the Daily Wire along with like Ben Shapiro and that crew kind of thing, but he smokes cigars. Kind of reminds me of a Rush Limbaugh, actually. He's very good. He doesn't talk quite as fast as Ben Shapiro or myself, so he's easy to digest, but he's super intelligent, makes great. But anyways, he said it came to him. I saw him on another show, but he said it came to him about institutionalized racism. He said, well, now that I'm thinking of it, the left controls most of the institutions in this country. For example, Hollywood, controlled by the left. The news media, controlled by the left, right? High-tech industry, Google, Facebook. Hi, Brenda, how you doing? Left, right? Big corporations are in the back pocket of the left, Nike, right? These people, they're going to do whatever they're told to virtue signal, you know what I'm saying? Hi, Christy, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. And, higher and lower education institutions controlled by the left, right? Universities, sports, professional sports, pretty much dominated by the left. Mark Knudsen, what's up, Nudie? How you doing, bro? And unions, the only thing that the left doesn't control in terms of institutions is maybe talk radio. Maybe the conservatives got a grip on talk radio. Other than that, the left controls institutions. So if we have institutionalized racism, whose fault is that? It's incredible. But they want you to believe that it's not them. That's why the black folks are running from the Democrat Party, man. They've been conservative all along. Come on, it's beyond stupidity. And nobody wants to defund the police, all right? It's absolute nonsense. Bad shit happens. There was even an editorial in, it was like the Rolling Stone today. I don't know if I can find that. If I can, I'll pull that up. I kind of made a clip. The editor over there, Angie Mangione. How you doing? Van Graves, good to see you. Always a pleasure. Jenna Luna Jenkins, thanks for tuning in. The editor there, he's had it. He ain't drinking the Kool-Aid no more, man. They're tired of it. He wrote it, and the way he did it was very succinct as well. You can see right through this hypocrisy what's going on. Look at Bill de Blasio, what he's been doing over there at the New York City Police Department. I think he wanted to cut $1 billion. Remember we talked about this. Wants to give his wife another $1 billion after she's, she's not even under investigation for the first $1 billion he gave her to solve the homeless problem and the mentally ill problem, and she didn't, of course, did not solve that. Now another $1 billion for defunding the police and doing some kind of youth social whatever. These people are idiots. They just say something that sounds good and they fall for it and they go for it. And they continue to vote that moron in. Crime is starting to soar in New York City. Cops are resigning across America. It's kind of scary. In spite of the president signing an executive order that's supposedly going to add more funding to the police to help, some of the ideas that he pitched out there today. We still got a lot of cops who are like, you know what? Fuck this. Why should I risk my ass Screw it. I'll do something else. And it's going to get worse before it gets better. Unfortunately, it's kind of terrible, really, right there. All right, let's see what else we got. Don't be discouraged, people, okay? Listen, don't. The way this is going, there's a lot of people who simply prefer for their politics to not be known. For whatever reason, I don't think money has everything to do with it, but especially lots of conservative people with money. Because in their social circles, the appearance, how they have to appear to be woke in order to circulate and continue to make money and have their popularity and their status sort of upheld within their little circle and community. And so they prefer for not a lot of people to know. They would never, for example, there was a poll done today that, very small percentage of people who are conservative want to tell anybody, like, for instance, that maybe they voted for Trump. But 75% of all the woke lefty liberals want to tell everybody who they voted for because it's a virtue signal. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm more virtuous than you. I'm more woke than you are. It's like a contest, But listen, do not be afraid to be who you are and keep your political portfolio right where everybody can see it if they want to. Christy Busey, my baby dog made it through surgery today, resting well. Okay. Thought you were going to lose her? Oh, very emotional weekend. Best friend for 10 years. Get to pick her up tomorrow. Well, you know what, baby? We hope that your dog recovers. I'm a fur baby lover. I got the Gronk. You know how I feel about dogs. And I love them, Here's Doug Abel here. Hump day, he says. Except it's not hump day yet, bro. Okay, there you go. All right, it's all good. Anyways, so we hope your dog gets better. Little prayers out for the dog, okay? So, and then, listen, here's another one, too. I don't know if you heard this Domino story. I guess it's silly, but I guess it was the press secretary, president's new press secretary. I forget her name, top of my head, but I like her because she's tenacious and she throws it onto the media. She takes them on. She reminded me of Sarah Huckabee. She was really good. Anyways, I guess some idiot, some lefty, dug up a fucking tweet, okay, that she had posted 12 years ago or something, right? Well, 8 years ago. 8 years ago. It was in 2012. And all it was a comment to Domino's Pizza about how great their pizza was, she thought, and she liked it better than New York City pizza, which that says a lot about your taste in pizza. I find that I've had Domino's. It's not better than New York. I like Guido's. Guido's is New York style, top of the line, But anyways, that's neither here nor there. It's just your personal preference. It's a fucking tweet about Domino's Pizza, and they're blowing it up. They're going, way to go, Domino's. Way to kill your brand, because this is how they are. Try to shame people. Try to fearmonger people into doing what they want you to do. You realize these people, no matter, like even today, as soon as the president announces his executive order, here it comes, it's not good enough. It's never good enough for these fucks. Because these people are whiners. They're complainers. They don't solve anything ever. They're users and they're losers. They don't build the country. They specialize in tearing it down. It is beyond comprehension that any of them get any kind of power anywhere. They do it by lying, false promises, stealing money from somebody to give it to somebody else. That's their game. Their whole game plan right there. Don't want to solve any problems. They've done nothing for the black community. Lots of black people I enjoy looking at and talking to on the media. Conservative people. Right up my alley. We get along just fine. Great Americans. They know I'm not denying racism doesn't exist. I'm not denying that cop didn't kill that guy, George Floyd. Now that we see that and we agree, now what are we going to do about it? Well, they and I are not going to go and riot and burn businesses down and loot. Looters have no agenda other than to steal shit. Hi, Kylie. I sent you a text. You let me know when you want to be on, baby. David Pendleton, how you doing, bro? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. So this is just silly, political crap, trying to give this poor woman grief for some tweet she posted 8 years ago about how much she likes Domino's Pizza. But that shows you how these people operate. They try to shame you. Don't be ashamed of your political portfolios, people. Hi, Kylie. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. You know, just don't. Stand up for what you believe in. Be proud of it. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to walk around. Hi, babe. My producer just got home from work with your MAGA hat, your Trump, whatever, whoever you support, whatever you do. Not to be afraid. This is the United States of America. People die for your right to believe. Okay? And everybody needs to have a voice. Most of these people, you know what? They do not want to hear your opinion. They want to hear their opinion coming out of your mouth. That's what they want. And they won't stop until they get it, whether they fear it out of you, or shame it out of you, or cancel culture your ass. Angie Mangione, off the subject, what are my views about them closing down Western Idaho Fair this year? I wasn't sure if that's the announcement they actually made. Did they actually close it?
Yeah,
First time in 50 years?
Except for they're still doing the animals.
They're doing the animals, Laura says. Yeah, that's, you know what? I call bullshit. I call bullshit. They didn't do this. They're not doing the Snake River Stampede. You know what it is? They're left always trying, because this is Idaho. And they ain't going to shut us all down. There's too many rednecks and conservatives here. They're not going to happen. So anything they can get their hands on, whoever they can shame into it or scare into it, that's what they're going to do. That's too bad. I feel bad for all the folks that enjoy going to the fair. Kylie Keene, I completely agree. We can definitely say that George Floyd was murdered, but defunding the police is never a safe option. Of course it's not. Of course it's not. It makes no sense. Now, some of the things they talked about today were, like, for example, I guess the chokehold. They called it standardizing. The president called it standardizing police procedures. In other words, to make sure that everybody all across the country on the same page. You can't use a chokehold unless an officer's life is in danger. Excuse me, some departments already had that rule. But they also talked about backing the police. You know, they need accountability, but they also need to be backed when they're right, you know, when they do the right thing. Doug Abel, just want everyone given no thought what it takes, work in all facets of the word, goals in life, changes toward a solid belief what it's going to get to keep those freedoms, whatever it may take. Yeah, well, listen, Susan Persley, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. There's no thought given by some people, bro, but that's all I think about. Because I'm all about my freedom and yours. I'm all about freedom, baby. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is what I'm all about. My First Amendment, Second Amendment, Third, all the amendments to the Constitution as a whole, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, the history of America. You can try to erase it, but you ain't going to change it. You see, I'm looking for folks that want to move forward, not cry about backwards, you know? They do more right than wrong. Wrong is the only thing ever highlighted. Yeah, well, you know, media, you know, they got to get ratings, and, you know, it fits their narrative. Ultimately, they want to destroy America and what we are, what it's accomplished. They still have this notion that this fucking communism and socialism is going to save us all. From what? We've been fighting against it our whole lives. And if you look around the world, you can't show me one strong country that even China. China is now, they call themselves communist. This is the problem. These things are run by men, okay? And men are corrupt. So if you're in the communist, the Politburo, you're in the Chinese Communist Party, oh, you're a capitalist pig, living like one. Hey, Shauki, how you doing, bro? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. But if you're anybody else in China, you're walking around in fucking pajamas, riding a bicycle if you're lucky, eating the rice they put on your plate. They control everything about you. You keep your fucking mouth shut and you'll live. You call that a life worth living? You say a future for your children there? They don't invent anything in China. They steal it from us. We got the creators. We got the imagination. Because we open the floodgate and let it run wild. We do shit nobody else does. Hey, here's an idea. Let's fill a room full of people of all nationalities with all these crazy ideas, and let's see what happens. Ta-da! I love America. It's a beautiful country. I don't care what anybody says, all right? Don't let them take it from us. You know what I mean? Just don't. Don't be shamed into anything. Don't be fearful. Starting to get these riots out of these Democrat politicians. They're going to be no more. I guarantee we're going to have consequences here. And don't believe these polls that they're showing you. This is a damn lie. They just They tweak it until they get what they want to tell you so that they can try to make you think what they want you to think. I told you yesterday, you had a venue of 19,000 people this weekend that the president's going to make his first return out in the public on a campaign trail. 19,000, almost 1 million people signed up. How does that happen when he's losing in the polls by such a large margin? Silent majority, baby. We ain't gone away. We're getting stronger, getting bigger. 40% of black folks, one of their polls said, support the president. I suspect it's bigger. Bigger. All right? Welcome all my black brothers and sisters in the United States of America to the Republican Party. I'm not even a Republican, but to conservatism as a whole. Other than Democrat, let's just say that. Oh my goodness, it's incredible. We're going to see what happens. This is all because, look, they can't afford to let the president get out of Washington, D.C. They want to keep him there. They want to keep us all home, you know, because they got the double standard now where it's okay. Somehow the COVID knows that if you're protesting Black Lives Matters out in the streets with the insurgents up in Chaz, the virus can't get you, you're safe. But if you go into the Trump rally, it's going to kill us all. You're going to spread it all over the place. It's terrible. We can't do it. It's amazing how that works out. You know what I'm saying? But they can't, because once he gets, the base will be energized. The people will be energized. Trump is great on stage. Trump's going to be energized. And here we go. And the numbers on the economy, fuck it. Mind-boggling. He said it today. He said, as long as my formula isn't tampered with, this is going to come back just like I said. We're looking at a V-shaped recovery. That's outstanding compared to the rest of the world, you know. I hear, Beijing now trying to say that they're having a second wave and they're all scared. That's the way they shut down some schools to make it look good. It's a big city, so that's kind of a big deal, but not that big, Schools, doesn't even get transmitted between kids. That's a fucking joke. Hi, TC. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. It's incredible. What say you folks, man? What do you guys think about all this crap? What about these guys that got poisoned with a shake? Despicable. Continuing to try to defund the police. Nonsense. They're going to give them more money, just like I said. God, I can't believe it. It's, like I said, 23 and 24 hours dead from murder children in Chicago a couple weeks ago. Seriously? And these kind of numbers, everywhere you go, St. Louis, Baltimore, doesn't matter, L.A. And where's Black Lives Matters? Where's the outrage? Where's the marching for this? You see, it's a scam. They're trying to divide us by race. They're not trying to unite us. Tracy Davis, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. It's incredible. Don't let them pull it off, people. It's not worth it. I'm telling you right now. And you just remember, too, what I said about I don't know if you were here at the beginning when I talked about the fact that the left controls all the major institutions in America. So if there's institutionalized racism, they are responsible for it. I find that's the funniest thing I heard all day. Because you know what? By default, it has to be true. So I don't know why you call Trump a racist or anybody that voted for him a racist. It should be the other way around. Hi, Phil Jenkins. How you doing? How's the dot league coming along there, bro? Tracy, how's everything up in McCall? How you guys doing? Thanks for tuning in. It's good to see you guys. Oh, it's incredible, man. But don't worry. Have no fear. Don't be afraid. Believe in yourself. Believe in what you believe in. Don't be afraid to be who you are, okay? Don't go around walking around. I like to joke about people. I go, what are you doing? What are you, incognito without a portfolio? In other words, you're trying to not let anybody know you're here or what you're doing? Be proud of who you are and what you're doing. Be proud of what you believe. Don't be afraid. There's no penalty to voting for President Trump or whoever you want to vote for. It doesn't matter. Just like there's no penalty on the other side. We just tend not to go around, harping on them all the time. If we don't have them, they don't agitate us. That's why we're the silent majority. We don't have time, number one, to every single day. We don't want to interject politics into football. All right? We don't want to interject politics into our sporting events. In all our music concerts, we don't want to hear it. We don't want to see it. You can keep that to yourself right there. That's a good start. You know, so we can all get along, okay? But no, they got to push it. Because I'm telling you, they do not want to hear your opinion. They want to hear their opinion coming out of your mouth. That's the agenda. And you will bow, and you will do what I say. I guess if you live in Chaz and you're white, you better come up with $10 and give it to a black person, or I don't know, or else what. But that's basically what's being said up there yesterday. It's crazy. Had a video of a young black preacher. Yeah, she's a preacher, but she was preaching after the confrontation. But she was confronted by a couple of those Antifa idiots, and she ripped them to shreds with a history lesson about slavery and the Democrat Party and who's what. Check that out. And hey, listen, I got a guy here you might want to check out too. Hey, how you doing, Driller Dave? Good to see you, bro. His name is Brandon Tatum. Tatum, I think it is. He's a former police officer, and he's been speaking out. He did a fantastic diatribe on white privilege. I think now he's actually a comedian. He does entertainment now, but he has some website and some social media presence. You can be entertained, but you can also be informed. And he phrases things and says things in such a way that, for example, that when you talk about white privilege, it really is insulting to black people because you assume that you somehow are better than them and that they require something from you so that they can acknowledge who and what they are, what their worth is, and it's just simply not true. Therefore, there's no white privilege. Now, there could be racism. I told you, racism is a sin of the heart. And there's only one way to get rid of that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta change your heart. And God is love, and that's what you gotta do there. Hi, Kim Painter, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Well, my time's coming up here short. Yeah, listen, you guys, you got anybody want to kick in here before we go? You can talk about anything. Doesn't have to be all politics all the time. You know what I mean? I like to have a little fun once in a while too. Let's hear it. I'm here for you guys as well. The fact that we can do the two-way is what makes this kind of appealing to me anyway. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but if you can. I know Kenny Coggins is in a bar and he can't even hear me, so when Kenny Coggins right now, listen, here's what Kenny Coggins is getting right now. Hey, maybe that's entertaining. I don't have to talk. I'll have to ask him if I see him later on tonight. All right, I got to get over myself. I'm sorry, I'm only kidding. All right, anybody want to chime in before I bail today? I hope today was fun. We'll talk some more tomorrow because it's ongoing and, get 5 months to the election. I hope that we shape America the way that we want it. So as we come out of this, economically, we're all better off. Harmonically, we're all better off. Racially, we're all closer together. And rebuild America and make it the greatest place that anybody's ever lived and everybody wants to live. That's changing the world. That's leadership right there. These fools can't compare to what Donald Trump has done. You think it was bad last time? He hadn't even have a record the last time. Now he's got a record. This guy has fulfilled just about every promise he's made, he's kept in some form or fashion. He ain't built the whole wall, but he's damn sure building it any way he can get the money to do it. All the things that he said he was going to do, he's doing it. And we're better off because of it. As a country, as individuals, our lives are enriched. We can do more stuff. Got a little more money, which makes things more fun. Come on, people. Don't stand down. Stand up. Stand up for yourselves. Love your country. It's good to you. You be good to it. When you're inside the box, I want you to think outside the box. Okay? And be good to each other. That's important. And you just remember now, we all make choices. We just got to live with them. I'll see you guys tomorrow.